going on? We are live again today for another designing live session. Awesome. Thanks for joining me on these live videos. I have been designing floor plans from scratch in roughly 60 minutes, usually starting with a few simple design parameters. This is not a full scope of what I would do with a custom design process, but showing you a glimpse in some live sessions of how far we can get in an hour. And let's see here. Today's request actually came from TikTok. I had somebody reach out on one of my videos and say, hey, can you design a plan like this? And I'm right now saying, sure, let's try. So, but before I get to that, I also wanted to add in, I used AI to inspire the front of this house. So played with Midjourney some to spit out some images for me. We're actually going to go off one to design the floor plan that we're going to design a floor plan based on the exterior that I liked. So before I get to, yeah. Lost my train of thought there for a second. All right, site parameters, 32 foot wide. So narrow lot, be garage front, 60 foot deep max is what this commenter said. So 32 by 62. Oh, gotta sneeze. No, I don't. We're good. Pulling it together. I'm gonna do full basement. I might not get into too much of the basement stuff. It's hard to cover that in an hour. But let's get into the design program. So 4 bedrooms, all of them upstairs. Kitchen with a spice kitchen. So spice kitchen, not in a ton of plans, but just a secondary kitchen space that you can work in. So if you're cooking something that has a lot of odors or things, that can be completely closed off and ventilated. I'm going to show it a little bit more multi-purpose, so that it'll just be a deluxe pantry. We could fit, my goal is, yes, you could fit all the appliances in there if you wanted to, or it can just be a killer pantry that everybody wants nowadays. Anyway, so going to try and hit both of those with it. Main floor office, with a 32 foot lot and a front garage. That office is probably going to be somewhere to the back of the house, but we'll work on that. 2.5 baths, so powder on the main, couple baths upstairs. Open concept main living. Again, every time, dead ringer, got to be open concept. Mentioned 2-car garage, and then AI inspired front. So I kicked it to Midjourney and asked a handful of times, few different prompts, architecturally designed, yada yada, whatever, and settled on this image, something that I liked and I think will work. So I think I can get a home that is 32 feet wide, kind of looks like that, and maybe not exactly, but in the ballpark. And we'll use that as our barometer for this live. So to follow along, this is gamer inspired, but I'm going to show you my keyboard. What all my fingers are doing as we're designing. And here is the CAD. These are the remnants from the other day. But let's just parcel off a little bit of this neighborhood and get rolling. I always do that. Go with 32 inches instead of 32 feet. So 32 by 60 is here. Right, so that is our building pad. Narrow lots and things, especially with garage front, there is just not a lot of ways to divvy a plan like this up. And sometimes that stinks, sometimes it's okay. In a case like this where we're designing on a time constraint, it helps me. I know where to put stuff. We're just going to come out a couple feet and go nice and far back. All right, we're going to label as we go as well, so you log at home. That text. And we got our garage here. All caps. Got to be all caps. Our porch here. You'll actually notice from that image, porch goes out a little further in the foyer. Make it look really cool. And then we'll have our foyer here. Really only way to slice that up, right? Foyer. Okay. So where are we at here? All right. Let's do 2x6 exterior walls. These will come in. And then let's just start. Feet for that mudroom area. That might also end up being the spice kitchen. I've said this in every video almost now, but really like to keep that kitchen as close to the garage as possible. For just ease of use, groceries, carrying stuff. You know, you live life, you get it. All right, we will need a staircase in here somewhere. With these smaller 2 stories, I like to put the staircase somewhere toward the middle, with the top step ending like in the middle of the plan, you know, somewhere in here, because then you're wasting the least amount of space in hallways. Might be a little tricky with this foyer here. Could do this. Just run a straight shot staircase up to the side. Doesn't give a lot of room for our foyer though. I need to take this garage down some. Put out of that garage. So give like 8 inches to there. Think of the foyer, some living space. I'm actually gonna make that a 48 inch. So when you're going down to the basement, not killing you. Plenty of room. Let me see here. Gotcha. So yeah, it doesn't really define. We just know it's. I was looking at the porch there. Doesn't really define that gable or that front wall. Kind of gets garbled as you're going back in there. All right, let's say the stairs end there. So this staircase is 48-inch wide, rough framed, interior to interior. I like to show 10.5-inch for the treads. Yes, they can be shorter than that by code, but 10.5 lets me have a little wiggle room if anything is off the framing on site. Just counting treads to make sure I can get all the way upstairs. Yeah, so this is 16. Typically on a 9-foot ceiling, you get 16 treads. Going to a 10-foot ceiling, you probably need 18. Changes a little bit with your joist height. Joist height. Words. There we go. All right. So already, we don't have a ton of room for that office or great room or anything. Dang. Let's see here. 32 by 60 is not a huge building pad. All right, so this line, sorry, I didn't explain this. This line is dead center of the plan. Oh, it wasn't. It was when I moved some stuff. But it's center line. So if you're stick frame, especially stick framing the roof, it can be extremely helpful because then you have really simplified bearing. You could do 2x12s either side, and then you're carrying your roof off of this at the center point and on the exterior walls. If you're doing trusses, it doesn't matter, but that, and then you can run everything side to side, and the roof will be mostly side to side as well. Actually, based on our image, the roof is switching a little bit, but okay, so this is your dining area. 14.8 by 11. Okay. And this is Kitchen and Spice Kitchen, 18.6. All right, so we have room there. Seven by 4 on the island. Another 48-inch walkway. And a walkway into that mud or pantry area. Maybe this is mud and this is pantry. Oh, this is a little, yep. Nice little spot for powder. Then maybe the great room bumps out a couple feet. We have it on our site width. Let's not completely throw it away. So that's a bad area for the office. Switched it up. And this area, I'm speaking one step ahead of designing. If this became dining, all right, let's copy it over. Try a different path. What if office was back here? And this centerpiece area is kitchen. But lead to a really cool kitchen space. Need to play with that office entry as well. Okay, now what I'm thinking is maybe the office and pantry are both to the back. We find a fun way to carve those out of the floor plan and then keep that as the mudroom. Thoughts? Concerns? Hopping over yet again. Center one. Okay, that'll be our little alcove area. Maybe that's a little built-in or something. Still a pretty good sized kitchen. I'm gonna try it going down to 42-inch walkways. I go back and forth between 48 and 42 walkways in homes. Depends on the size and overall feel of the house. What happens if we flip this block? Office there and pantry there. A little more private. And this is deep enough to do built-ins on either side. Open it up. Okay. This. Gonna open up that kitchen. Yeah, that's much more open for the kitchen. Let me get some furniture pieces here for our plan. So, you know, what I don't love about this right now is not a great exit to the exterior. Like, to use your backyard, you have to go all the way through your great room. All right, let's try a different track. Yet again, I'm going to try and flip all of this. I don't like that the great room is now the traffic area. This is an interesting one. So let's go back to this layout. Plan A. What I'm realizing here is we are not going to get a full-on okay. What I'm realizing here is we are not going to get a full-on office in this plan. I think it's just a little too tight. The narrow lot means you're eating up a lot of space in this foyer area. It's a little bit of a bummer, but it's kind of what you need to live with, which is there. Let's bring this whole piece forward. There's some more space in the office. Still got room for powder there. I could bring it forward another foot, actually. Need to delete that line. Okay, so I've been thinking office there, although it's still not very big. We at this 5'7" by 8 foot. Okay, it is big enough for an office, but not a big one. Probably talking a built-in desk along this wall, maybe built-ins behind you. Hmm. Because, okay, let's give some square footage here. Just like to see what we're dealing with as far as footprint goes. Uh, 1297, 1300 on that main floor. And what are we at? Room size. A great room, 16 by 21. Can be smaller than that. That's a great size. Our dining area here. I mean, kitchen dining. 14 by 23. Yeah, 14.8 by 24. Size 2. Wait. Brainstorm. If this becomes powder, mud comes over here. Pantry here. And the office of living back here. We need to find a way to get into the kitchen. But this is promising. Oh, this doesn't even, that can all be pantry. That pantry wider. Moving our bearing wall here. I did have as a bearing wall. 17.3, we're still okay. Nobody freak out on me. We all together? We all with this? Oh, that's a way better office. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so as someone who works from home every day, I like that this is way tucked away from the floor plan. Because I mean, in a 1,300 square foot house, there aren't many areas that you would consider super tucked away from the floor plan. You get a good one. Let's see here. One of our measurements is off. There we go. It's that one. Throwing all this stuff off. Barely off. Okay. I'm gonna make this skosh wider. Bedroom entry area. Still got a good sized office, so not the world's biggest office, but not bad. Where are we at with that? 7.2 by 11.2. That's way better though. Way better. All right. Now I'm thinking about how to get into this pantry area. Maybe the mudroom. Technically ends. This is a good spot for our fridge too. But that could be your range wall. Let's think kitchen appliances really quick before we get too much further. Drag some of those over from our first plan. For those that weren't with me the first day, go back and check out designing this one. Which one was I on? This is a range wall, and we can still keep that sink on an outside wall that you love so much. Fridge there. Tree would probably stop. Just come here. Mudroom flip. Maybe. I don't like that as much. All right. I see a couple options for the fridge. So I'm not, or we could put the sink in the island, the range here, and the fridge there. So see a couple options for that. I'm not going to freak out about it yet. What I want to start working on is the second floor, though. We need to get that figured out as well. We're going to get anywhere with this. And if we want to jump back to our inspiration image here, it looks like there's an area of the second floor that sits above that garage, but not completely over it. This wall doesn't come all the way out. So back to that. This is the front wall of the garage. We want to at least come back a couple feet. Okay. A dashed line to show that's below. Don't lose our frame for it. Show that porch below as well. Right. Now I need to divvy out some bedrooms. So we need to find where our stairs land. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is good radio. So 18 treads would end up there. We have the head clearance, so I counted out 14. We have the head clearance to turn and go to the basement stairs down there. Or if you're slab on grade, that can be your water heater can go under there. Something you need to figure out a spot for the furnace, but we can get to that. So this is our bearing wall. Just copy it up and see what that does to it. I really like the idea of a nice wide open hallway as you get upstairs here. This become your primary suite. That's 17 by 13. Good amount of space. Maybe you got laundry in there. And then way back to it. All right, and then for your closet and bath labeling. Let's get back to labeling so that we can see what we're talking about here. Primary. Bedroom. Primary. Bath. Laundry. Hall. And walk-in. I do think we have the room. Then bedroom. think those each a foot smaller. Bedroom. Bedroom. The double line there drives me crazy. Bedroom, bedroom. Ooh, cool. So really, all we need now, spot for a bathroom. I think you got the head clearance to make this a walk-in. Doing 10-foot ceilings. Yeah. And then we just need a kid's bath. Just gonna go right here. All right. I do want to figure out a mechanical chase as well before I get too far into this. It's just one of those things the field really likes when you can figure out for whatever reason. Who knows? Kidding. It's a joke. Yeah. Let's see here. Essentially located furnace on a home like this really helps. Does look like we can do a 20-inch deep one by 36 here. So if you need to get stuff to the attic, not every home needs a mechanical chase. You know, local builders vary a lot in how they run the mechanicals and everything. But I think for this plan to be most universally helpful. Oh, see, that's over the garage. That's not universally helpful in this area. Then puts it right there. Hallway. Oh, we're fine. Fine and dandy. All right, so I'm going to build a linen closet around that, the other side of it, for this hall. Okay, what I like about this can become, if you're doing a slab on grade or a crawl space or something, don't want to finish that basement, this can become your extra living space bonus room, because it's like almost the size of the garage. Not quite, but 20 by 13, 10. So almost 20 by 14. Yeah, that's enough to throw a couch and a TV in there. But yeah, if you just wanted to be a big guest suite or extra bedroom, it could be that too. Or if you have kids sharing a room, you need to throw a set of bunk beds in there. Also, that works out well for this 5 set of window we have on the front. I don't know if you recall, but there was a big, massive series of windows on the front here. I don't think they were that wide, though. Look. Yeah, they weren't that wide. Oh, sorry, let me make that big again. They weren't that wide, so you can still get an egress in like a 30-inch window if it's a casement, which those look like they might be. So a series of 30s across the front there. Okay, I think we're at the ballpark. Oh, this bench needs to be. Let's finish out the kitchen, huh? The most important part of the home. Home. I don't know why I said it like that. Home. Okay, so if you want this whole space open, there's a few ways now structurally we can do this. This can all span with floor trusses, maybe TJIs. We could do a really cool blue lamb or drop beam in there. Carry the second floor. It'd be pretty big, but it's also nice with that farmhouse style. This wall, you really want the walls to come out slightly past where you're showing cabinetry so that you have area for that counter space to die into. It's just one of those little things, the field, it just helps them out a lot if you can do that. Spice pantry here, spice kitchen. Really good sized pantry. We will need to carve out some coat closets or something. Maybe the pantry is smaller. Coat closet. Stretch it slightly. Sorry, taking away your pantry space. Hey, still a good sized pantry. Nothing to complain about there. Monday morning jams. It's not Monday morning though. It's Tuesday. Day off yesterday. Hung out with the fam. Played some board games. Played, I guess, the card game. Played The Crew, which is a blast. An awesome mind puzzle-y type game. Into that sort of thing. Cooperative. If you're looking for something to get you into like card games, that's an awesome one to start on. Over there. I like the color of the doors green. I don't know why. It's the way I was trained. I'm sure there's some reason somebody did it. And this is be our coat closet. See, I said I was going to work on the kitchen and then got distracted by the coat closet. So, important too. People like closets. Right? I'm kidding. I know. It's like, I often joke with clients. It's like the one thing people won't complain about. I've heard complaints, too many windows, too few windows, too big, too small. Too many doors, not enough doors. But I've never heard too many closets or too much closet space. Never, ever. This fridge is really jamming me up. You. Know what you're going to say already. You're looking at this pantry, you're like, hey, how about a pocket door? Most builders I work with don't love them. There's so many ways they can go wrong, but I kind of agree. It's a good spot for a pocket door. All right, fridge. What are we looking like for that fridge? I mean, honestly, the best thing for this kitchen is probably put the sink in the island. I kind of like that layout too. I mean, if your lot is this narrow, let's talk about this, okay? If your lot is this narrow, you have 32-foot wide building pad, odds are you're close to your neighbors. This is not a pretty backyard view, I'm guessing. I don't have all the facts here. Again, this is a quick design challenge. This is not full-on custom process, but I would say odds are you're probably looking at another house that's maybe 10 feet away from you, okay? So let's take that into consideration and say, all right, so the sink, much better view. Look out the back. Although I do want to increase the size of this island. So 7'6" is my favorite size if you're going to put the sink in the island. So we can just decrease these walkways. I'm actually going to decrease this overhang some too to be in line with that cabinet. Oh wait, I can increase it back. We're going to go down to 42-inch walkways. But when you go down to 42-inch walkways, these fridges fridge manufacturers. They're super annoying. If you know a fridge manufacturer, tell them I said, hey, chill out with the fridge depth. I get it. People want all the space in the fridge. Don't want to up on that. But what happens is they're way deeper than the cabinets all are. So we're going to do a little fridge recess area here. You'll never be able to see it from inside the house. Never even notice it was there. Really just going to carve out some space from this hallway here, going back to the office. Space for it too. Sweet. That works. We'll give the space back to the office. Get a little notch in that corner. Oh, this is bench. I didn't explain that. Bench or lockers. Built-ins. I don't mean like middle school gym class lockers. I mean like lockers. See on Pinterest. Every time I'm more and more impressed with these royalty-free songs. Oh, let's get back to the, okay, so narrow lot, odds are you got a neighbor right here. Yes, people like the sink under a window, but looking straight at a house, you're probably better off to have a little bit of view. You're gonna have the shot to the backyard that you'll see. You will also have, you know, be able to engage with family and stuff more. And it's a really big island, nice and deep. So 4'3" by 7'6". So you're not right on top of the sink if you're eating or anything there. 7'6" is a great width to do a 3-inch filler on the end, and then 24 inches for your dishwasher, and then have the sink perfectly centered on that island. So, all right, let's switch over to SketchUp. Start drawing this, and I can prove to you it does in fact match your inspiration image. Or at least close. We'll try. Opening up SketchUp. Let's stop sharing that. Hey again. And start sharing. Why did it go away? Come on. There we go. It's back. Nailed it. And we got that. Everybody can see Mr. Man here. Sweet. Okay. I'm going to come into CAD here and grab this footprint. And I usually just save it as a quick little CAD file. That just has that in it. So I can import it with all the other junk. I'm going to delete everything out of the CAD file except for that footprint. I come into SketchUp here and import it. Sorry, I didn't go back and share screen, but I think you have an awesome imagination to probably figure that out. Oh, whoops. I accidentally imported the whole stinking thing. Let's not do that. Forgot to save this in CAD. Okay. Now let's import it again. There we go. All right, that's our footprint. Draw some lines here to connect those faces. Let's see. I need to jump back to CAD to figure out how tall we want to make this thing. We did 18 treads, right? So we're going to do 10-foot ceilings. So top of eave, bottom of eave, look at that, 11'5", 11'5", 5.25. Then this came back 2 feet. Bottom of the eave up there. 10 foot 1 and 3/4. Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, I only need to do 8 foot upstairs. Actually, let's show this all as 9 foot main floor and 8 foot upstairs. The narrowness of the house, I'm looking at it now, it's gonna feel a little better. Not so high from the street. Okay. As always, we're gonna offset. I usually show 12-inch offsets. Bump up. Get that porch header in here as well. 10-inch porch header. Oops, wrong way. Let's offset out. Seems to offset out. And then we're going to bump those up. Okay. Now, so looking at it in 3D, most of this roof is going to be front to back. Let's see here. That might change some interior bearing. We'll have to look at that. Like I would, again, not a design competition. I would spend more time dialing that in or getting this far, but it's good to have creative space as well, where you can just like roll and keep her moving. You know what I mean? All right, so these aren't going to be there. And this is going to come back to there. Okay. This is our main gable. And then this is just a weird thing I've learned from SketchUp over the years. Like if you make these imaginary faces, you're like Revit, you'd be like a working plane. But if you make the faces, it's a lot easier to just offset, connect, and snap to perpendicular. Sometimes if it's floating in space, it doesn't snap to the parallel and perpendicular as good as if you were to just draw it like this. We got our front gable there. Ooh, okay, so right now I'm noticing this roof projection is a lot bigger than what we wanted. So I'm going to try and bring that down to 612. Don't want that. Oh, this is 60 feet deep. Oops, that didn't snap. All right, there it snapped. I get the face completed itself. Sometimes when I'm 3D modeling, like if I'm showing a client a rendering, I don't model the entire house just because I know, like, I have a feel for which angle I want to show them. So I'll model just enough where I can, like, you know, show the vibe without having to spend a ton of time on the sides and rear. That's a little better. And then we're going to find where that intersects. We're going to find where that intersects. Oh, this is probably something I shouldn't waste time on, sides and rear. I do like to complete the roof out, though, for whatever reason. It's because I come back and look at them later sometimes. All right, then that porch roof is probably another 612. See, it's already starting to feel like what we had on the inspiration image. And then, let's see here. I probably could do another 612 back to the house, huh? Nope, that's not a smart idea. A line. This line is what I wanted. So this I was a little tricky, a little worried about. Maybe let's do a 412 back to the house. I don't want it to come up too high over that porch peak. Porch peak is going to look cool in there. Yeah. I can live with that. Just take lines to where they intersect. And complete the faces. You did it right. Should work. If this were a really northern climate with snow buildup, I would spend some time on that area as well. Just don't love how little space there is in there. But let's see here. I want this to come back to, I'm gonna hit this corner. Maybe I don't want that. Far. Yeah, probably. Check it. All right, windows. Make some windows. I haven't decided if this is going to be transoms or just grids. I kind of like the idea of transoms though. Oh wait, I got to make that unique. I'm going to make this window unique so that it's different than the parent element. Yeah, those would probably have grids in them. Coffee break. Let's pull that out. House. It's in those. So you could just do it in line work if you're exporting out of SketchUp, but if you want to render it, you have to actually like make the grids because the rendering won't render lines. At least my settings won't. Like a realistic render, you never actually see lines. So those windows are out of plane. And that window is out of plane too. Do I have a cool garage door in here? Oh yeah, I do. Made these. We're just gonna delete this one. Don't need that. Oh. Didn't snap. The right angle. There we go. Okay. Hey, I'm feeling it. Feeling the vibes. And then we got this exposed. Let's throw the columns on there though. Check it. Yeah, I'll probably just do a bracket in there. I could show this all vaulted, and that's what the inspiration image had, but it just takes a lot of time to model. So I'm getting close to my time here, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Show a bracket. Make this bracket a little bigger, just a little beefier, for proportion's sake. It'll look cooler. And there was a band board across here. Actually, let's do our trim first. These board and corner boards. And there was a band board across here. Inch. Window up there. Goes in this face as well. Ah, cool. Actually really digging this house. Front door. Windows on the side of the front door as well. Let's make those bigger. Maybe so. Let's do. Just gotta move the grids over. All right. After this, I'm gonna check our time. See where we're at. Oh. All right. See, we're pretty close. Pretty close. Where are we at time-wise? Oh, we just hit an hour. All right. I'm digging that. Don't hate it. Let me know what you think. I know I'm a little behind, but I will upload these plans to the World Wide Web, most likely on my Instagram channel. So follow me there to see the full plans. And thank you for watching. Have the most awesome of days, and I'll be back at you soon. All right, bye.